Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party ain't just lit. Bet it's the littest. You know we lit. You know we lit. You know we lit. You know we lit. Turn up, no we lit. Turn up. You know we lit. Let's go deep time. You know we lit. Mr. Slim Shut. You know we lit. Kev, what up? You know we lit fresh, that's the Pearl A Lord. You know we lit Knickerbocker, have a talk. Let's go! Knicks N Ish. We lit.
Yo, you know what time it is. It's time to talk that Knicks N Ish. I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Avenue. You already know what time it is. Hit like and subscribe. Press the notification button on your YouTube so that way you get notified every time Knicks N Ish comes on. And you already know what time it is. It was that kind of game today. It's that game that Mrs. Knicks would love to say. I know she hasn't said it enough in a while, but yes, it was belt to ass. I'm joined by our beloved and our esteemed co-host himself, Mr. Jeff Rodriguez. And of course, let's do a quick, little bit of housekeeping. She's always here. She's always here. And we love her every single night she's here. Darlene Bryant, 8873, the wonderful one. Thank you so very much for joining us. Let's just get down to it, right? I mean, Knicks win their 6th straight in a row. Belt to ass on the Wizards.
Una pela.
La pela. 145 to 113 behind the big bodega on 9 for 13 shooting, 26 points, 16 rebounds. Captain doing his normal number, 23 and 4. I mean, a little low on the assist numbers, but I don't think he really played that much tonight. I mean, he played what?
28 minutes.
Just 28 minutes. I mean, so, a light day for the captain. And, of course, Jay Hart, the heart of the city. Stat stuff extraordinaire, 16 points, 6, 4, and 2. Mikal Bridges had a better shooting night tonight, one of his better ones in the last couple of weeks, 14 points, 6 assists. And check that out. 12 points in 20 minutes off the bench. And Mo Better, Mo Cheddar, Cool Mo D, whatever you want to call him, Mohamed Diawara, 12 points, 20 minutes. Mitchell Robinson, another double-double, 10-10 with 2 block shots. Check that out. Tyler Kolek scored 11 points in 5 minutes. That was mostly garbage time. But look at that stat right there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Scored 42 in Westchester this afternoon. Same thing for Macomb Dadier. He scored 32. And we'll talk about that later on today. But, Kev, your initial reaction to this ass whooping?
To be honest with you, it's like games like that, you kind of expect the Knicks to win these games like this, especially against, I think they're like the second worst basketball team in the NBA. So, you got Trae Young out, Anthony Davis out. You got the kid Alex Starr out, right? That's his name, Alex Starr. If I'm correct. Yeah, Alex Starr. Alex Starr, he's out. And basically you got 2 bench players showing out and Gil and Hardy. Those guys were, that was the most of their production was from them. You know what I'm saying? So, we did what we were supposed to do, we was at home. Belt to ass, like sis would say, una pela. And I was excited to see guys like Tyler Kolek, guys like Diawara, even Jordan Clarkson, staying hot, staying ready, because that's what you're supposed to do as the vet of the team, right? I'm talking about Jordan Clarkson. I think as of late, he's been playing pretty well and been able to get more minutes. So that's a good thing. Um, yeah, man, just you know, do what we supposed to do. Win and blow bad teams out.
Yeah, that goes without saying. I mean, Washington is pretty much a wash. This could have been a trap game very easily. I think the Knicks
Right.
started. Um, they started, kind of the typical, typical Knicks trading baskets until they start to assert their dominance. I think that with Washington being what they are, in terms of roster wise, it's just this is the end result that you need to have. But I got to give them a little bit of respect because considering what they've been doing for the last couple of days, they've been just playing nothing but playoff bound teams.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, what they were playing against the world champion Oklahoma City Thunder, and they were about to. I mean, there was a fight in that one, and Sis kind of put that in our group chat, and I kind of put that on Twitter the other day. So like, you got to give a lot of respect to a team that, despite being one of the worst teams in the league, still get up and fight
Yeah.
and put up a fight against the reigning defending NBA champions. And I mean, they still got washed in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, when you have that kind of fight still, despite the fact that everything is against you, you got to give them a little bit of of respect and tip of the cap because not a lot of teams out there will be willing to are willing to still fight even in at this stage of the game.
Oh yeah, they're a young team. You know what I mean? They're a young team. Like look at tonight. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double figures.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they were showing some fight. It just got out of hand. You know what I mean? It was just so much you could do after the Knicks started taking off. You know what I mean? Like you look at our side, everybody shit, we played 14 guys tonight.
Yeah, Jaden Harvey had 25 off the
Jaden
bench.
Hart,
Anthony
yep.
Gill, 18 off
King.
the bench.
Yeah.
And they have 4 or 5 starters in double figures, but they really didn't really do anything. I mean, it was pretty much a wash everything out there. The Knicks outscored them 37-29 in the third, 40-32 in this. I mean, they just washed them in the second half.
Yeah, we
Total
scored 72 points.
77.
Oh, 77, my bad.
77 to 61. So that's just. I mean, you would hope for them to do better defense, but on another note, I mean, this game does have some significance because on the other side of this, check this out. If you check the standings, the Minnesota Timberwolves defeated the Boston Celtics 102-92. It is their first win in Boston in almost 21 years.
Wow.
And with that, thank you to Minnesota, because if you're looking at the standings now, the New York Knicks are now a half a game behind the Boston Celtics for the second seed.
Yo, that's crazy. 21 years, huh?
First win in Boston in that long.
Wow. That's a lot of losing, bro.
That's a lot of losing. I mean, so they're not at the same time. Because you only play them twice a year.
Right.
But still, you go to Boston, and every time you get an L for 2 decades, bro.
Damn, bro. Like, wow. 1 win in 2 decades? That's nasty work, man.
Bones Highland was the high man for Minnesota with 23. Jaden McDaniels had 19. Ayo Dosomio had 17. Jordan Randall had 9. Anthony Edwards, I don't think, played at all. But it wasn't like Boston didn't try. Boston was led by Jaylen Brown with 29, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Jason Tatum had 16 points in 31 minutes with 11 boards. So, that's crazy. That's crazy shit. But with that, thank you, Minnesota. The Knicks are now a half a game behind the Boston Celtics for the second seed. Boston's still 4.5 out at first from Detroit. Who they're they're still on a 3-game winning streak, but crazy time, man, crazy time.
Definitely. I mean, that was a good help for us. We needed that in a bad way. Um, I feel like as long as the Knicks keep taking advantage, of like beating teams like the ones we should beat, the Nets, the bum ass Nets,
Right.
the Washington Wizards, like I think we play the Pelicans, right? One
We play
in
the
this
Pelicans
stretch.
next.
So like those are teams that we need to pack up and wash up. These are teams like guys like Mikal Bridges get back into tune with your offense, with your shot, get your shot back up. You know what I mean? These are games where guys should be working on different things, gearing up for the playoffs. Um, you know, we've seen Mikal Bridges in a slump as of late. So watching him getting back to to what we know he can do, that's what these games are all about right now for him. You know what I mean? So we got 10 more games to go. I think we on pace, man. I think we could win 53, 54 games this year.
Um, at this point in the season, it's very, very possible. Looking ahead at our next opponent, the New Orleans Pelicans, they just had their 3-game winning streak snapped against Cleveland, 111-106. They've been fighting. They're pretty much out of it.
Who's that?
The Pelicans.
Yeah.
They're they're pretty
they're
much
finished.
they're finished. They're what, 8 games out of 10th. They're 8 games behind the Warriors, and I don't think they're catching them. But with that, they've been kind of playing very good basketball as of late, winning 5 of the last 7. So the Knicks cannot go in on Tuesday night thinking that this is going to be another cakewalk. They have to come in and put belt to ass and end this shit early. Just in time for this to go on this little road trip, where they go to Charlotte, OKC, and then Memphis. But I'm liking tonight. I like what I saw out of the big men tonight. Anytime the big men are doing big men things, pause. I get that tickle in my eye where I start to feel like we're back in the old days.
Right.
When Ewing and guys like Chris Dudley and Herb Williams, and I mean you can start Tyson Chandler. All the big men of our past. When they had those monster games. But yes, Stephen Kennedy, I know Cat was the MVP again. But
I will say this though. I think it's important that we get the big bodega starting early.
yes,
I think that's very important, man. Like him only getting 3 shots in the first quarter and playing 5 minutes is not enough for me. Don't get me wrong. Like, okay, JB, was 4 for 8 in the first quarter, but he's our big man. I think that it's about time we start feeding him fast and early, get him going quick. You know what I mean? Don't wait until later in the game to get him going. Get him going right away as soon as the game plays, especially when you have nobody on the other side that can really fuck with Cat. There's nobody in the Washington Wizards that could really fuck with Cat, bro. He should have been dominating from the scratch. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. 26 points is great. I mean, I'll take it. Pause. You know what I mean? But like that first quarter to me, I would like to see more aggression out of him.
And this is where the part where I kind of get crazy with with Steven's assessment.
He took 8 shots.
8 of 11 shots.
He was 4 of 8.
If the captain has got it going, then you have to feed the captain. I mean, the captain can take over. But in the ones on one side, I do agree with him. It's like, yes, if you get Big Cat going early on, you diversify and open up the offense because now your shooters have to be open because you have to pay more closer
Right.
attention to guys like Town and Brunson. You already know the attention is going to Brunson anyway because that's sort of the plan of attack. That's the point of attack for all defenses. You're always putting a 6'8", 6'9" guy who can keep up with him, which not many guys can anyway. But at least if you make it uncomfortable for him, because you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop JB regardless. But if you do get Cat going early, that has to get alleviated somewhat because now you're paying more closer attention to your the 7-footer, that's dominating the paint and lighting it up on the outside, which will then open up Jalen Brunson's shots and make things a whole lot easier. And then of course, once JB gets going, then it just opens up the flow because then you have OG, open to the top of the key, with a free lane. You got Mikal Bridges who can then operate the midi, and then you got Josh Hart cleaning up the glass everywhere he goes. So, in some ways, I get where he's going with this, and what you're saying is absolutely accurate. You should have Karl-Anthony Towns started a little bit early and start that and assert that dominance. But each game is going to be different. Each opponent's going to be different. And I don't doubt that during the playoffs, you're going to start seeing that more often because of the fact of who you're going to be playing against. I mean, if you start the playoffs today, who are we facing? We're facing the Orlando Magic. You're going to have to start using Cat early on because you're just going to have to. And then as the series go on and evolve, you're not going to be able to go to Cat, immediately, so that you can certainly diversify it a little bit with JB, with OG, with Mikal, and then you open up Karl-Anthony Towns. But I think that tonight was pretty balanced.
It was.
I liked how the ball freely moved, but I got no complaints nothing more to say other than thank you, Minnesota. Thanks for looking up.
Right.
Julius Randle still helping his own team. I mean, that's all great to hear, isn't it?
Absolutely. Nah, listen, man. Anything any other team can do to help us, I'm with it. You know what I mean? So, thank you, Minnie, for giving the Celtics that L. Like we need to and us, we need to keep winning. We need to just keep winning, especially our schedule is kind of like favors us to win most of those games. I think we got a pretty. Let me see the next. See it real quick. I mean, Jesus Christ. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the Hawks are tough.
Well, there's the playoff
Hawks are
picture
tough.
as it stands. As it stands today, the Knicks would welcome in the Atlanta Hawks in the 360, a rematch of a couple of years ago. That would be an interesting series. That means that Cleveland would open up against the Raptors, and then Orlando. I don't know, that playoff matchup between the Sixers and the Magic sounds very interesting. These two playing teams on the Eastern Conference look very interesting to me. The ones in the West don't so much, but the ones in the East look really interesting to me. Like if we leave it as is, those are two very good, interesting games right there.
Yeah, the Hornet. I think the toughest teams on the schedule is Thunder and Houston. Because I mean, and Boston. Those 3 games. Those are the toughest. Out of the last 10 games, those 3 games are the toughest. I think we could beat the Hornets. I think we could beat the Raptors and Hawks and Bulls and Grizzlies and I think we play Hornets twice within those 10 games.
Yeah, we our next we go to Charlotte on Thursday, and then we close out the series of the season at home against them. Let me pull up that the schedule here.
That's a fact, Jeremy. That's a fact, Jeremy. I agree. 1000%. Got to get him going early, man. Like it's like again, especially when you see, you know, the other side is just a bunch of mismatches. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. If our point guard is got it, then I get it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say necessarily he's a ball hog because within the last month, he's been moving that ball around. Like,
Averaging 9 assists a game. So
yeah, he's been feeding people. You know what I mean? So today was one of those games that he didn't really, contribute the ball like that, but he played less minutes, and you had Alvarado and Kolek distributing most of the assists today. Um, but I do think that we need to get Cat going. He people need to understand like he's our next star player. I don't care what nobody tells me. I think Carl Anthony Downs is good. He's just when he wants to be, he's a star, bro. Putting up numbers like today, those are star numbers. Those what stars do. But he needs to understand that too. Like when you see that the matchup favors you, take advantage of it. Play bully ball, man. We know you could play bully ball. We know. We seen it. It's nothing new for us. You know what I mean? But um I think in this Pelican games, I would like to see him go for another double double. That
absolutely.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him have like 30, 30, 30, 35 points against the Pelicans. I think he could do it.
I mean, I don't see why not. I'm trying to see, if there's any injury report that I'm not aware of for the Pelicans. But Carl should definitely be having one of those nights where he's scoring over 30, over ten to 15 boards a night. I mean, he would have like the night of nights, and this would be a great way to kind of close out this homestand right before they go into the road. But let's move on to the next thing. Is our kids. Two of our kids went into Westchester this afternoon, and when I tell you the numbers, I mean that's
Hmm.
complete madness. I wish I were making this up, but Tyler Kolek and Pacome Dadier combined 74 points between the two of them on
15
20,
assists.
15 assists between the two of them on 26 for 43 shooting, both stroking the 3-point shot, both getting assists. Both I think Dottie also had like 4 steals in this afternoon's game. But I know it's the G League. I know that it's not the same thing, but to put up these kind of numbers and then still play the game. Come from Westchester, come back to into Manhattan, into the Garden. Be ready, but take a quick shower if you do at all. Put on the Knicks uniform and then go out. And then I don't think Dottie even played. Did Dottie even play today?
Yeah, Dottie played.
He played 3 minutes.
He played
Kolek played 5.
played
And
five
Kolek
minutes and went off.
still went off on a run. He went 4 for 4 shooting, 3 for 3 from downtown. He got a rebound and an assist. I'm like, we gotta
all
get
in,
my man to the court.
all in the fourth quarter, bro. All in the
All of it.
fourth quarter.
It was garbage time. It's like, yo, go do what you
Yo,
want.
a homie went crazy. 4 for 4 from the field, 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. Had one rebound, one assist, 11 points. Um, he really had 53 points, right? He went
19 for
12
26 from the
12 12 for what 12 for 16 18 from the 3-point line, 12 assists and a block.
not bad
Those
for
are fucking listen.
not bad for a former Big East Player of the Year.
Listen, bro, listen. I listen, man. Come playoff time, Mike Brown got the the best problem to ever have, bro. Like you could literally play up to 14 guys. I'm sorry, not 14 guys. Like I would say 11 to 12 guys in the playoffs, bro. You
right
might
there.
be able. What up, JJ? What up, JJ?
Looking like the prime
Like,
minister for
yo,
those
bro,
5 minutes.
listen. The kid is hungry. The kid is hungry. We got some hungry guys on this team, bro. You could go in so many directions. You know what I mean? That's another guy that's a ball handler. He could get guys involved. Could shoot the 3-point shot. I mean, look at that! Look at that one 3-point shot that he shot almost and just with confidence, no worry in the world, just bang, went nothing but net. Like this kid, to me, to be honest with you, I don't care what nobody tell me. He gonna be special, bro. He's gonna be a special player, but he just gotta get the minutes. You know what I mean? Because somebody with like his talent, bro, somebody will pick him up and he'll be a solid pickup for somebody that really needs a solid point guard. Team like Orlando, a team like the Nets. You know what I mean? That are desperate for point guard play. A team like Atlanta. One of those type of teams, bro. Memphis. These up and coming teams that lack a point guard. The Knicks need to really like pay attention and really watch out because they might lose them. I think you're on mute, bro.
It goes without saying, Tyler Kolek is a true professional.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we have him is an absolute blessing.
Right.
Um,
We
the
got
fact
three
that
ball handlers, bro.
you got three ball handlers. One
Ball
is,
pause. Hey, yo.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. Now I lost my train of thought. But no, to have guys, on this bench that can lead a team, be efficient and not be afraid of the moment, always ready. I think that's the key thing right there is that Tyler Kolek is always ready. He's
Mm.
always, he's a consummate professional. He understands his role. He understands the position that he's in. You're playing behind Jalen Brunson. Now you're playing behind Jose Alvarado. You have guys that are just pure energy, pure defenders. Guys that can light up a crowd and can get everything going. And then you have a Tyler Kolek who can just simmer things down and do things that a lot of people just can't do in today's NBA, which is basically control the pace of the game. Um,
Right, absolutely.
my boy Steve has told me about him for about a year before we even
Shout out to
drafted.
Steve. Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to Steve. And, he was telling me about him, beforehand, and like after like one or two games in the summer league, I was like, okay, I don't think he'll ever get minutes. And of course, he didn't. He didn't get any. He didn't get any minutes. Under Thibodeau. But then when he did get the minutes, he's like he showed you that. Yeah, he needed to get those reps. The lack of playing time really. But once he started to get them, and then he started getting them on a regular, under Mike Brown, which is one of the testaments in favor of Mike Brown. He started to play Tyler Kolek. He started playing Kevin McCullough Jr. He started to play Mo Diawara. He started playing the kids that we all wanted to get some burn last year. But the fact that Tyler Kolek stayed always ready. He's always good for a bucket or two. He's always good to run an offense. He can lead a team. He has great court vision. It's just a great thing to have. All right.
Nah, I agree. I think that he's like JJ said, like a TJ McConnell type brat. He's like a
Right.
brat. You know, he's gonna be one of those kind of. The one thing I think that he needs to develop is like what T.J. McConnell does. Like he attacks the basket, but then he could kill you with that little midi. You know,
Yeah,
he'll get to
yeah,
the cup
sure.
and hit you with the midi, and he's very accurate with it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think that if Tyler could kind of like add that to his game a little bit, which I think he's been trying to do as of late. But I think if he could try to like be a little bit more accurate with it, his game will like get to another level. Defensively, you could see that he tries. You know, the kid, the I think that it's hard for him because of his height to stay with most of these because now you got all these taller guys. He's always playing against these taller guys, but he's smart, so he does things that kind of like, oh shit, how the fuck did he pick that up? Because we've seen it plenty of times this year where he's like, oh shit, that was a good play on that side. How the fuck he picked that shit up, yo?
right.
So I think he's still learning. Just and sometimes, man, just sitting there watching guys playing, seeing it from the bench. Sometimes you're like, okay, when it's my turn, I know not to do this, and I think that he's doing a good job and staying prepared, staying ready. You know, and when you see guys staying ready and very prepared, you get games like this, like that, where you come in 5 minutes and you just explode. Cause let me it looked like he bought what he did to the G League to today's game. Like it just all just started clicking like this. I was proud of that kid, bro. I was proud of him, yo, because he'd been like ever since Alvarado came in, he completely been out of the rotation.
That and I think that once he started to lose a little bit of the confidence in his shot, because I started to see him hesitate in taking
Right.
his shot. I think that Mike Brown probably noticed that, and he started to reduce his minutes beforehand, and you start
Yeah.
seeing Deuce a lot more. But then Deuce got hurt, and they were like, you know what? That's why you have to go after and get Jose Alvarado. You weren't going to be using Yabusele anymore. So what was the point of having that $5 million sitting there doing nothing? So I'm glad that that Tyler had himself a day. Um, but I gotta ask you this, Kev.
Yeah.
How do you, if you're Mike Brown, how do you work around that? When you have three point guards, obviously you got Jalen Brunson and you got Alvarado and then you got Tyler Kolek. And at times you also even have Deuce McBride, even though he's not a point guard, but he does
Yeah.
operate and handle the ball a lot. Do you see Tyler Kolek getting many minutes in the postseason? Because I think somebody else just said this in the chat earlier. I don't remember who it was, but you know, we got beat by Indiana last year because they
Hmm.
were playing 15, 16 guys. Shit, they had niggas coming off the fucking out the stands and playing,
That's right.
and running
That's
five
right.
minutes. Um, is there any likelihood that the Knicks can do something similar, and we can see some of Tyler Kolek's, the Jeremy Sohans, some of these other guys that don't get a lot of burn on a regular basis. Ariel Hukporti, for instance. Is there a possibility you see that?
I mean, I don't think Ariel Hukporti. You might see, you know, Pakum Daddy and those guys. I don't think you're gonna see minutes from them come playoff time. You never know. You may be if somebody gets hurt or something like. God bless. Um, but Tyler Kolek, I think, is somebody they should definitely look at because he brings something different. You know what I mean? He's a better shooter than Alvarado. You know what I mean? Let's be real about that. I love Jose, but definitely he's a better 3-point shooter, and I think he's a better distributor of basketball. He got better vision. I think he's pretty much got better vision than Alvarado. The thing that Alvarado got is a better defender, I would say, than Tyler Cole. He's sneaky. You know, he's tougher than a Tyler Kolek. But I think that between those two guys and then you got Jalen Brunson, you know, they all three bring something different. And then you got Tyler Kolek, like JJ said earlier, learning from Jalen Brunson. So, you know, I think that he should definitely give guys like Tyler Kolek some minutes, guys like Mo Diawara some minutes, because you're gonna be playing teams like, let's say, the Celtics of Detroit, even Orlando. They got height. You know what I mean? So you got Modi Awara, a kid that got height, that you know, he could shoot the ball as well, play pretty good defense. What up, BDP? What up, Rondu? What up, y'all? Another guy that's sneaky on defense, you know, could shoot the 3 point, smart, got pretty good IQ, barely makes mistakes. Another young player that you could utilize behind Bridges and fucking OG. You know what I'm saying? So I think that those kids definitely should get minutes in the playoffs, because, you know, like you said, Indiana played 15 guys. They were throwing everything at us. So I think
I think even the training staff fucking put on the dress.
like, yeah, like, so, you know, and you know, like, if you look at Tyler Kolek and how he played in those 5 minutes, he could be a pest to any team. You know what I mean? To any team in the playoffs, guys, like teams like Orlando. Like if we play Orlando, or we play Atlanta, whoever those guys is, you know, and we could also, you know, it'll take some pressure off of Jalen Brunson as well. You can move Jalen Brunson to the two. You know, because a lot of these teams come playoff time, they like to put a lot of pressure. And you seen it in that Brooklyn Nets game. They was throwing everybody at Jalen Brunson. You know, they were pressuring him. Teams are pressuring him. They double teaming him, and we need to get the ball out of his hand. You know what I mean? Have Jalen Brunson somewhere in the corner, and, you know, you got a guy like Tyler Kolek and you got a guy like Jose Alvarado that are good with the ball in their hands, and that got the vision, and that are good enough to see a guy like Jalen Brunson or a Cat or Macau or OG or Josh wide open for a 3 point shot. You know what I mean? So
Right. I think
I hope that answers your question.
it does. It does. The only thing I disagree with you on is that you
Right.
said that Jose was tougher than the Colic. I don't think that he is. I
Hmm.
think that Tyler is tougher.
Right.
I think that Jose is a lot more talented, though. He's quicker. He's definitely quicker, and he is definitely a better defender. But in terms of toughness, I think that Tyler doesn't back down, you know, no more
No.
than Jose does. But I really do think that, you know, in certain matchups and in certain situations, if you're Mike Brown, you have to utilize your bench to the best of your ability and start throwing
Hmm.
out more guys. So that way you can alleviate and spell Jalen Brunson. You can alleviate and give other guys opportunities, because I mean this is what we're playing for. This is what I mean. This is the reason we play 82 games. This is the reason you know, we keep on saying, you know, hashtag play the kids, hashtag this, you know, play our bench. This is the reason Tom Thibodeau got fired last year. I mean, it's the main reason. It wasn't
Yeah,
because of results. It wasn't because of anything else. It was because he was unwilling to play his bench. He was overworking his, you know, his starting five. He was sticking to a 7-man, 8-man rotation, and then the few instances that he did play his bench, it's done nothing but great results, but he would refuse to go back to it for whatever reason until injuries made him and forced his hand. So if I'm Mike Brown, knowing what I know, considering the situation that I'm in, knowing full well that you inherited that team going into the season, You're on pace to be slightly better than last year's team, record-wise. Why not do the things that you know you can do that got the last guy fired? Avoid it. Save yourself. Play Tyler Cole. Play Mohamed Diawara. Hell, play Kevin McCullough Jr. I mean, we're not asking him to fucking
Right.
play 5 minutes. We're asking him to
Yeah.
go. Throw him out there. I mean, and you're going to have to do it eventually because you don't know what full condition that Deuce McBride is going to come back at. I know he took more contact today, but you don't know what what kind of rust builds up on players when you're not getting those reps, when you're shooters who haven't shot. It takes a minute for the mechanics to kind of feel natural to them again. So I hope that Mike Brown takes that into consideration. He does utilize the bench accordingly and make the necessary adjustments. Tonight happened to be an easy game, and he didn't really have to, but he still did. But going forward, that you utilize the assets you have and create difficult matchups for your opposition, because you can't just think that you're going to out-talent them. That your talent is always going to be there, or your shot is always going to drop. You have to have a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D. And, for somebody who's won 4 NBA championships as an assistant head coach and has been into the NBA finals as an NBA head coach, you should at least consider it. Just my idea. But what do I know?
But listen, to add to that, though, people seem to forget, or maybe Mike Brown seemed to forgot how we won that NBA Cup mid-season tournament. Guys like Tyler Kolek, guys like Mo Diawara. When you gave those guys opportunity, Kevin McCullough Jr. hitting key shots to win games. You got your captain saying post game, yo, shout out to thank God for Tyler Kolek for the game that he had in that championship game. So, when it comes down to must win games like in the NBA Cup, I know it's just a mid-season tournament, but that's key. That's key. He's done it. He, when we needed to win that game, he came through in a major way to help us win those games. So I think that Mike Brown is gonna have to go back to that run in the NBA Cup and see and take a look and I think the kid earned some minutes. I think so, man. Like, especially come playoff time, man. You're gonna have to play these guys. You're gonna have to play more than 9, 10 guys. You know what I'm saying? Because these teams are throwing everything at the Knicks. These teams are gonna be throwing every single thing they can to beat us. Especially those teams like Atlanta, Orlando. Orlando played us tough this season, bro. And I know they dealing with some injuries, but Orlando played us tough, bro. You know what I mean? So Atlanta not so much, but Orlando, they gave us a problem this year. So I think that if we see Orlando in the playoffs, we gotta throw every single thing at them. If
That's
not,
why,
we're gonna be we got our hands full. Pause.
that's why I say again, if the playoff standings stay as they are, that Eastern Conference play-in tournament is going to be fire. That is going to be. I mean, Miami, Charlotte, Philly, Orlando. Those are going to be some dogfights, in my opinion, because the Western Conference. I mean, you can pick them. You can pick them and choose them. And great. I don't doubt that the Warriors, walk over the Blazers, and the Clippers and Suns. I don't think it really freaking matters because they're going to get destroyed by San Antonio anyway. They're going to get swept within a matter of a couple days. But it's kind of interesting because we're in the middle of March. It's March Madness. Our boys, they won again.
St. John's, huh?
St.
I'm a
John's
Michigan.
Wrestling.
I'm a Michigan guy. So,
Ah, come
but I
on. You got to
fuck
root
with
for the
but I
home
fuck with
team.
nah. I'm rooting for them. I was watching the game today, man. They did great. They did great.
Zuby and Bryce, 18 points apiece, man. But yo,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you what, that Darren Peterson kid, that nigga had me like hyperventilating. Oh,
Yeah, there's some dogs in in March Madness, man. There's some dogs. I listen. I'm not too familiar. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm gonna be straight up with you when it comes to college basketball. I'm a straight casual.
I
You
am as
know what I
well.
mean?
I am as well.
I'm a straight casual, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. But I love my Michigan Wolverines. I'm a fan of everything. So, I've seen them. I've seen them make the championship game, and so far it hasn't been successful. I've seen them win some football joints, but not basketball joints. So that would be great to see, man.
The
But shout
Wolverines,
out to
win.
St. John's. Shout out to St. John's, man.
Queens get that money, bro. Queens got the
Yeah,
money.
man.
Come on.
Shout out to St. John's, man. It's been a long time for them. It's been a long time.
Is before either of us were born. That's how bad
Right?
this is. Um,
I'm 45 years old, so yeah.
As am I. I'm 45 exactly. So that's the crazy thing. What's crazy though is that I don't know how they're going to do against Duke in that next round. They play the Blue Devils in 5 days. Um,
Carlos Boozer's son plays for Duke, right?
I believe so.
Oh, he is nice, man. That kid is nice, bro.
He is nice.
I seen him
He's
play,
definitely
man. That
nice.
kid is nice.
But but something about him tells me that he's due for a game where he gets lost. And
I got you.
if his teammates don't pick him up, you know Dookie Dookie drops the deuce. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
And it'd be
Duke.
nice it'd be nice if it was a team from Queens.
Nah, listen. I mean, listen. Duke been dropping the ball. Duke been dropping the ball. Like
For
they not
years.
the same powerhouse that they used to be. You know what I mean? So, um, let's see what happens, man. I mean, I'm definitely going for St. John's. I'm definitely going to St. John's unless they hit Michigan. Once they hit Michigan, man, I'm just I'm full blue and yellow, baby. I'm a Michigan
Um,
guy all my life, man. Since I started, yo, I don't know what it was. I seen, it was the uniform that caught my attention, to be honest with you. And then I started, going through, the history and the
right.
players that came out of Michigan and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I love this college team, man. So I've just been a Michigan guy through all the bad and good, everything.
Well, Michigan awaits now for the winner of the Texas Tech Alabama 4-5
Yeah,
matchup. Right now, Alabama
right.
has a commanding 52-33 lead over Texas Tech. So we'll see, bro. I mean,
See.
so Michigan, Alabama in the Sweet 16, that'd be pretty nice.
Yo, and I think already one of the top teams got eliminated. I forget what team it was though.
I believe it was Florida. Florida lost by one
Florida.
to Iowa.
Yeah, right. I
The
seen that.
Gators.
Yeah, I seen that.
Put it down in the chat. Who are you going for in March Madness? If you're following, how you guys doing on your brackets? Please, let us know how you're doing on those. We keep it real, like in terms of the college basketball tip. If you want to learn more or talk more college basketball, I recommend Bleed Blue because Steve will talk college basketball with anybody. He'll talk sports with anybody, whatever
Yeah, I'm gonna
sport you
have.
want: baseball, football, hockey, boxing, wrestling, UFC. He'll talk. And the crazy thing is, that dude would never like. It don't matter where in the world because this dude travels.
I
When
see
he
that.
calls, when he calls, and we'll do our lives. This nigga is calling me from fucking Peru, from fucking Panama, freaking
I know.
Israel.
Just the. I forgot. Where he was at Honduras. I think the last time.
Either that or El Salvador, one of the two.
I think yeah, one of those. Right.
But it's like, hey, his passport is a whole lot better than mine. Like that.
Listen, man, that's how you live life, baby. You gotta live life to the fullest, B. You know what I mean? And if you could do it, man, God bless you, bro. God bless you. God bless Steve, man. You know what? I'm gonna have to tune in because I want to get back into my college back. I was really a big time, like back in the day. I was really into it with college basketball. Um, I was really into it with the Fab Five in Michigan and all that. You know what I mean? So, and then I don't know what happened. I kind of like moved to PR, and once I moved to PR, I kind of like
Got out of it,
lost
right?
lost track. You don't really see too much college basketball out there like that. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
don't have cable,
because in
you know.
PR, they only to really watch baseball, and maybe a couple of basketball games and
Well,
boxing.
well, well, nah, cause they got their own little basketball league out there.
Uh-huh.
They got their own little basketball league out there. So you got Bayamon, Arecibo,
Right.
San Germán, stuff like that. Carolina, stuff like
So
that.
it's
That's
like
their league.
so yacht basketball on that island is kind of like how baseball is on mine, where in
Right.
DR, it's Licey and
Right. There you
oh my
go.
God.
There you go. So it's mostly like that. As a matter of fact, I forgot who was it that was playing for Arecibo. I think it was DeMarcus Cousins or something like one of those guys were playing, and there's a few NBA players playing in that league out there in Puerto Rico
Alvarado played one season there, didn't he? Or
for the
one
Puerto
season?
Rican team. For the Puerto Rican team, he
Yeah.
played. Yo, and let me tell you, when he played for the Puerto Rican team, man, like they played some really good games, man. Like he had the Puerto Rican team, playing really good basketball, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. It was exciting. Cause when you see Puerto Rico playing like that, bro, and the fans, you know how the island people get down, bro. They know how to party, bro. They know how to party like nobody other, kid. Like I think they actually beat the people out here 10 times. You know, I ain't gonna
Well,
hold you, bro. Like when it comes to like Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, and you're playing for something special, like you're trying to win a championship for your island, and like that means a lot to these people. Like you saw yourself, bro. Like Santo Domingo, those fans in the classic, bro, they were partying hard. Like it felt like it was like every game was a World Series game. That's how it felt like, and not just Santo Domingo, but even the Venezuela. When Venezuela, you watch Venezuela game, and like those Hispanic countries, they know they get down, bro. Their fan base is very. I lived out there. I seen it, bro. I
well,
lived in
you know
Puerto
what they're
Rico.
doing, right? You know why the biggest reason why they did that was because they noticed how world like Premier League soccer and World Cup soccer, how that brings up that energy and that kind of enthusiasm and
Yeah,
investment from the fans and the players.
right.
So that's where the World Baseball Classic came in, and I think it was crazy because Don posted something on Facebook the other day, and I responded to it this morning. I'm just like, when you have that kind of a cultural investment from not just the players but the fans and everyone involved, that is what, and it's all for the love of the game. You can still have your ads and your commercials and the fucking logos that go on everybody's jersey. You can have all that and make all the money in the world. That's no problem. But don't take the heart out of it. And that's where I
Yeah,
think that a lot of, especially in the four big sports in North America, for the exception of a few major cities. But if you take the heart out of it, then it's just another game.
yeah,
But
for sure.
professional sports really needs to build that, that since each team represents a city, you need to have that pride of that city again. And that's why I say that the closest thing to those kind of fans are Knicks fans.
Yes.
There
One
are
thousand percent.
don't get me wrong, and it's not me being
One
a
thousand.
homer or anything like
No,
that
no,
because
no, no, no. Listen, no, I can't disagree with it. But keep going because I'm gonna add to it. Keep going.
because because I've seen other cities when they win the big one. I've seen Philadelphia when they won a World Series and a Super Bowl. They're they're out there. I've seen Los Angeles when they win an NBA title or a World Series. They're out there. What I would love to see in every major U.S. city and even the small market teams is that kind of love and investment in the team because it's not just the players. Yes, we can say all we want about the players and how they're millionaires and this, that, and the third. But if you have that investment in repping your city, repping your hood, which is why I always say that if the NBA really wants to make the All Star game freaking more valuable, I mean, this year was better than recent. But if they were to make it an investment in terms of rep your hood
Excuse
or
me.
rep your state or rep your region, that would be like your natural one, not the one where your city is, right, that pays you, but the one that you grew up on, the one you claim and you rep it out there on the court. That I would love to see. I would fucking pay big money for that because I have a vested interest, not just a bunch of billionaires playing a game of exhibition. I want them to play for something.
Yeah. Nah, listen. I lived in Puerto Rico for quite some time, right? And I seen where my family's from win some championships, bro. When I tell you, it reminded me. And the Knicks, we still haven't seen the Knicks win a championship. And you see how we act. You see how we act, bro. Like we shutting down streets. Like we celebrating. Like we get down, right? That's exactly how it is on those islands, bro. And you see Puerto Rico, we're like a speck compared to Santo Domingo, bro. Like we're like a speck when you put Puerto Rico next to Santo Domingo. Like we're very little, you know what I mean? But these people celebrate, and you will be like, wow, bro, wow, like it's a lot of fun, bro. And it gave me those vibes from last year when we made the Eastern Conference Finals, and I was just like, oh my god, man, this is what it is, man. So I can only imagine when the Knicks win the championship, what's gonna happen. These fans are gonna go ballistic, bro. But look at how little compared to like Santo Domingo, Puerto Rico is, bro. We're like the smallest island, one of the smallest actually, compared to like Cuba, Santo Domingo, and those places, even Venezuela. Like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
They definitely need to figure something else out.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this year's what up, King? What up, King Q?
What up, King? It's good.
Um, but we will definitely pick this up on Tuesday night after the Knicks
Facts.
take on the New Orleans Pelicans. This was a great conversation, but
Definitely.
we definitely have to be realistic. We have work tomorrow.
Right. Absolutely.
Tomorrow's Monday, and we got kids that go to school tomorrow. But I like to thank every single person who came in today. And of course, shout out to all of you, who are continuing to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, all of you on the replay gang. If you're watching us the next morning, Steve, I know you're one of them. Thank you
Facts.
so very
Appreciate
much.
you.
Please continue to hit like, continue to comment, subscribe. Copy the feed of YouTube. Put it on your feeds on Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever you guys got. Continue to share because we are still on the march to 1,000 subscribers. We want to make this really big by the time the playoffs come around. So that way, because the lives that we do for the playoffs, they're going to be nuts. Because we're going
Hey,
to be on.
I'm if they do if they do what they did last year and have games outside of like where people could watch the game outside of the Garden, I
Oh, they're going
think
to.
that
They're going to.
we should do some lives out there, bro. That
I
ass.
I've been thinking about that. I do not know how we would do it, technologically speaking.
Yeah.
However, there are ways. I have been talking to a few people. Then I have to run it with T. I got to see what Mrs. Nix is going to be doing. Obviously,
Right.
Frads. I know you and me will be there.
Right.
We'll be there regardless because
Yeah, because I could plan something out and work to get something, worked out and, make it happen.
because I would love to hear from each and I love the comments. I love the people in the comment section, but you know what? I want to actually talk to them in person, not just
Right.
on live. I want to be able to talk to them. Hey, what do you think of this? How you feel about this? And get get feedback because that's the kind of thing that that kind of really gets my creative juices going because I know I got some shirt ideas. We gotta start putting those in. I keep on talking about them, but we never do it. Um, but if you haven't done so already, please help yourself some merch. Get yourself like the same, like the very same hoodie that Mr. Kev Rodriguez is rocking today, a Knicks N Ish hoodie. We got it in blue, black, and gray. I think we have it in orange too. Get yourself a cup, shot glass. We got a bunch of things going on, on Knicks N Ish, but we will have some more stuff, down in the woodwork. Um, but shout out to Mrs. Nix. Shout out to our tea time, the Spark Plug. Shout out to the Parlay Lord Prez. Kev, anything you want to say last before we head on out here?
Now let's go next.
Let's go next. So for Kev Rodriguez, I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave. We will see you on Tuesday night. So something you got to do this time.
Hit the outro.